much. It's overwhelming.
But just so you know, I'm on tomorrow.
This is the rooms you see on the videos.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. That's cool, kinda.
Yeah. We are live. Great. I mean, we kind of wanted to tell our story, and then you can ask the questions, but you can do it anyway. You're the boss.
No. So what I'm going to do is just ask date of birth, just formality stuff in the beginning. And literally, I just want you to go from the rip. Just tell me everything. I'll be jotting stuff down to ask questions after the fact. I just want to hear the full story.
You know, there was the point, you let us talk. When we were talking to you recently, you just letting us talk and getting that out.
Get that out.
Bless you.
That's the biggest part of the battle right there.
Yeah, because you will find the criminal.
Can I call you Ray or Raymond? Does it matter?
Whatever's comfortable, Ray.
S-U-C-H, correct?
S-Z.
Z?
Z. It's such and such with a Z. It's Hungarian. I'm half Italian, half
So it's
Hungarian.
S-Z-U-C-H. Copy. What's your date of birth, Raymond?
9/14/66. There's 4 different Raymond such generations. I'm Raymond F.
What's your current address?
Well, kind of. I'm in 12311 Sunset, Garfield Heights. That's 25 at 9, 441, 25.
I got your phone number. Now, this is your time. Just lay it out.
All right. Well, to give
from the beginning.
All right. Before we see the house, just a quick rundown is the building commissioner was in Seven Hills. He basically, they want to bring criminal charges. You can watch it on their council meetings. It's a video.
Yeah.
You can see this guy is a bad seed. And I'm not, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. And you'll see this through this whole, all the courts. I'm so respectful, even to judge everything, because you think everything's being fixed. But right to the point is, the building commissioner, he was in Seven Hills not a month before purchasing a house to no more than 2 months, at the most 2 months, he steps into Garfield. Now he walks out, they said, basically he admitted to falsifying permits, so there's proof of that. It's in the newspaper.
And then he tried to get it retracted.
Yeah, he tried to get it retracted. He went to the newspapers, and they literally wrote in there saying he's trying to get us to take it out, but he definitely admitted to falsifying permits.
No, I didn't want to interrupt. Did it actually get printed in the newspaper?
Yeah. Well,
I seen it online in an article. Was published online. Now, whether it was printed.
Well,
can I ask? Let's put it this way.
It's either Cleveland.com or it's the Scene. It's the newspaper. It's the Scene. Did something.
I'd have to look again.
Would I be able to access it like today if I wanted to?
Oh,
you put it in the big Orlowski.
Yeah,
I'm sure
his name and yeah. That's how they did a story on it. Well, how they were, him and the mayor, what they were pulling, working on the mayor's house private and not pulling permits and this and that, and he ended up. He put it this way, expect the servers to go down Garfield, because they do go down in Seven Hills when he was there, and they gave him the contract to repair them. Huh. Yeah.
All right, I didn't mean to interrupt it.
So we get to, now you understand how he steps in the city. Now he's not there long, so he's in training for maybe 30 days, 90 days, I don't know what it is, but they said, when you watch the city, or listen to the
audio for the council meetings.
For a council meeting in Garfield Heights, he never tells them where he comes from, and he steps literally into the door from one to another. There's not a question, but he wouldn't, because then they're going to see this information. So it kind of felt a little uncomfortable. It's like, oh, one mayor doing another mayor a favor, which later this will come up, because I do contact the mayor a couple of days before I go to court, not knowing he hired him, until she uncovers it while I'm sitting in jail, that here, the mayor hired him and said all the stuff he said. He's highly recommended, and he comes with a great record, and just all the stuff making him sound good. And here, the reality was, he is. When you see the videos of Seven Hill, nobody, brand new council board. This guy walks in, throws his boots up on the, he's just, but okay, so now we see a house. We see it months earlier, way months earlier, it was up high for sale. This thing's been up for sale maybe 2 years.
It was like 286 days or something like that. It had been up for sale.
Yeah.
Unlisted.
Yeah, but that's once
when we
switched
found
names
it
too. So anyone wouldn't know the kind of information when it's sold from one bank to another. So we see it. It's all of a sudden down to 6,900. So we're like, oh, this is it. This house, you know, I'm a contractor. I've been doing this my whole life. That's how I even met her. She's a contractor. I'm doing this, and I just did a point of sale with almost 100 violations, and I passed. I've never failed, ever. There's none, huh?
Yeah, no.
We work for Howard Hanna fixing point of sales. I've worked for Howard Hanna a lot.
So we purchased this house thinking, okay, there's issues with it, but it's nothing we can't fix.
Wait a minute. Before
it's
we
just drywall that needs to be put up, and basically it's just a
put
shelf.
together. You didn't need a garbage can.
When did you officially purchase it?
2017.
We're missing a part though. Wait a minute. Oh man, it was just right there. When we go to purchase it, the realtor says, "Oh, you don't want this house." We're like, "What?"
Who's the realtor?
Paul
something. You have to look
That's
at
going to
that.
play a key part in this.
Who's he work for? You know?
It's a real estate company. He was working for the bank, but he's
Our
obviously
realtor knows him. Ron
knows him.
Casella
Ron
does
Casella
know
does
him.
know him. Now it's fishy because he's telling me no. He says the words, "Nobody wants this house." And we're like, we walked around this house and we're like, oh heck, brand new siding, brand new pillow windows, the roof looks new. We're like, heck, this is no brainer. The property alone was worth
demo. They did it for us.
Yeah, it's worth like $25,000 without the house. We're like, what's going on? And he's like, he's trying to guide me away. So I was like, Ron, I have to use you. I walk in, I take 3 pieces of paper. I'm at the auditor. It's done if I purchase a house. This realtor, I said, Ron, I'm sorry, but I need you. Something's up. Go straight to the bank. Don't deal with the realtor. Just to find out, a month before we buying it, someone was buying this house. We got their point of sale by accident. It's probably what it was.
We didn't know this. We were told
We didn't
nobody
know
was
this.
interested.
Yeah, nobody was interested in this and that. So now you're kind of getting that. We go to, so we're purchasing it. Everything's going through. Now we got to grab a point of sale. Oh, wow. Oh, while we're sitting here purchasing it, mysteriously, 3 other bidders show up. He says nobody wanted this property. That makes us the 4th. And I said, Ryan, something's definitely up.
Same day?
No, while we're purchasing it. All of a sudden,
In the process.
In the process.
In the process,
all
the
of a
realtor
sudden,
will tell you.
3 other people.
Yeah, 3 other
decide
people.
They want.
That's called close hand transaction, isn't it? That's what the realtor says. But it's if they're involved, the previous owners, which will come up.
So he tells him, wait 10 minutes before, because we have to do a closed bid.
Yeah,
He
silent.
tells him-
We're not allowed to know who's bidding.
He tells him, wait 10 minutes
told him.
before the time we have to bid.
And submit our offer.
And submit our offer, so that there's no funny play.
Yeah, and I knew this was fishy, so I said, let's double up. Every penny I borrowed from my investors, thousands of dollars to come up with the difference we didn't have, but I just knew something, someone's trying to stop us. So I said, let's double up. My realtor's going, why? It's only this price, $6,900. And because I just knew something was funny, I said, let's just almost double it, So it was like $13,701. That $1 just to be safe, So I told him wait till last minute, and he did and put it in. Boom, we get it. Congratulations, we are happy. We go to the building department. They said, go grab your point of sale. We meet this elderly lady, the friendliest elderly lady, which you're going to see her on video about something. This elderly lady goes, oh, well, you got an easy one. 10 items, pressure wash the house.
Smallest point of sale
we've ever seen in our whole lives. The easiest. Point of sale. I mean, like seed the grass, pressure wash the house. The hardest thing was a structural engineer.
Which we got.
That was the easiest part. And that's the only reason they accepted that is because we showed up and an elderly lady put it in the file. But after this, you will see they will never accept nothing to help us, And he's withholding okay, so the elderly lady says, oh, you have an easy one. Welcome to Garfield Heights. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is great. I said, we're contractors. As I'm saying our address and telling her, there's a lady over here. Eyes bug out, just looks at me like as soon as I said the address. Oh my gosh, she's going to play a part in this coming up. She bugs out. So the lady tells us, we're like, all right, we'll be right back. We're going to go because they said they want cash and there's no cards or something. I don't know. We just said we'll be right back to, we got the point of sale to pull the permits. And she said, all right, they're great here. They will work with you. If you need extensions, they'll work with you. Oh, well, thank you. You are so nice.
And she gave us pictures and
Yeah,
stuff.
she gave us pictures. She wasn't supposed to.
Of the property?
Yes.
Well, yes, but here's the thing. Now the other lady left and took off like a bat out of hell. Now she didn't see her. She's going, well, there are pictures in it. And she goes, I don't know if I'm supposed to give you these.
Yes, she did say that.
And I'm like, well, can we please have them? She goes, all right. She gives them to us. All right. So now we're moving along. We come back to get the permits. The lady that bugged out, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, it's kind of, I just speak with my hands. It's this way. This lady walks up, and I go, hello, I'm here for 123 Sunset. And she looks at me, and she goes, puts her hands on her hands. I go, can we please pull permits? She goes, no. I go, what do you mean, no? She goes, no. And I go, I just want to pull permits. I was just here. And she goes, no. And I go, why? She goes, that realtor wasn't supposed to sell you that house like that. And I was like, okay. I thought she meant my realtor. I was like, what the heck? What did you mean? I go call my realtor. I said, Ron. He goes, what do you mean? Then it hit me. She was talking about Paul, the other realtor, the one trying to talk us out of it. When we get this point of sale, there's a point of sale name on it, who it was for. Some Frank something. Now, if you look at who was purchasing it, now I can't, this is an opinion, but it does show up to a name called we put in the name Chesney because we know the previous owners are renting from this Chesney. We see Chamberlain.
Last name's Chamberlain or Chesney?
No, there's a Chesney.
There's a
He's
Chesney,
sheriff.
but I don't think they have anything to do with that.
I don't think so either. They know each other.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. He's a retired sheriff. So, okay, where are we at here? We're going to pull permits.
They won't give us permits.
They won't give us permits.
They start sending us letters in the
Yeah.
mail.
Oh, the minute we walked in, every time we walked in the door, God is my witness, you guys got
3
this.
days later.
2 to 3 days later, we would get something in the mail saying, you need to pull your permits. This was like, what the heck's going on? Go back again. 3 times. Exactly. If you can, get their login even when we go there, because you have to sign in to get it, which you'll see us do when we catch the building commissioner at the place. You'll see video of that too. So,
2 to 3 days later, every time we go in to try to pull the permits, they would send us some kind of letter attacking us.
And one of them even said, we're coming in with a warrant. Now, mind you, in Seven Hills, he was warned by his law director, and that's on video, the building commissioner. So he knows better. And guess what? Garfield Heights did the same thing. You'll hear it in their video or transcripts. Same thing, warning him, you can't do that. Their own law director is telling them, you can't do that. You can't tell people you're coming in because point of sale, Ohio has deemed it unconstitutional and does not merit warrant for entry, which means they're supposed to stop outside and look at it. Mm-hmm. Write your point of sale, whatever it may be.
Anyway, so we can't pull our permits. We're wanting to get work done. They're telling us that we can't touch nothing to do anything on the property.
Now I come in,
So
she didn't come in with me.
we send them a letter. We
Whoa,
write them
before
a-
the letter, he has to know about the RV.
Yeah, that's one of the letters that they
Okay,
were complaining
I
about.
go in and I said, can I please put in bushes? He goes, no. And by the way, whoever this guy is says no, he goes, don't you touch nothing in that house, don't you do nothing. I don't know who this guy is at the building department. This is the 4th time there. And I go, can I please just put bushes on my property and make it look nice outside? He says no. So he starts to walk away and he goes, he goes, you better not be doing nothing. I said, no, sir, everything's in my RV parked next to it. He walks away and he goes, really? Like that. Now I'm going to tell you something that they don't know or didn't pick up on it, and how I know they were lying about seeing my RV hooked up. Now they sent a letter saying, your RV's hooked up and it's against the law and we're coming after you, and they cited me. And I wasn't in it, and we weren't hooked up, and God is my witness, were we? No, we wasn't even hooked up, and it wasn't nothing like that. It was just parked there. We had another house we had to stay in because thankfully our investor, seeing what was going on. So they send this letter. We feel we're being attacked now. We fax them a letter saying we feel like our civil rights and feel like we're being criminally attacked, and we're telling them we're sorry, this and that. Guess what happened?
We don't want it this way.
We didn't want it.
We just want to do whatever it takes
want our
just to
permits.
get our permits and make this okay.
We'll show you, and it was faxed to them.
Yeah,
so
we
they
purposely
received it,
faxed it.
which is curious. The notes end up getting written on it after they get it, and the lawyer gets it. I think that's where the lawyer said, I have something else significantly straightened the case. So we send that again. They don't care now about the RV. All of a sudden, no more than a week, there's a court date at our house. Now we're going to court for our house.
How long?
After we sent that fax in.
Within a week, we had a letter
Yeah.
for court.
So from the time you went in there to try to get your permits originally till you get this letter, how much time has passed?
Oh, it's passing. It's starting to add up a little.
months.
Few months, but that's how hard we're trying. Because we want it and we can't do nothing. Nothing. So all our tools are stacked because we're
Do
contractors.
you have the letter?
No, I didn't bring that letter. No, all that's in evidence I've given you. I've given you a big folder. It has all the flash, all the videos, and tons of stuff.
The box.
And, yeah, if you got a box.
No, you gave me a box.
A box full of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, and
You
there's
remember?
transcripts from. No,
You
I
remember?
remember.
Yeah,
I
I
brought
got
that.
the box.
Okay, yeah, they said they were going to make sure you got it. I'm just saying, it's
Yeah.
in there. You will see it. But we can bring it too. So we're at that point to where that happens. So we get a court date. They call us, or we go up across the hall. This first court date, because there ends up being 4.
An arraignment.
Five. An arraignment. We pled not guilty.
Now, we're charged with 2 separate things.
Yeah, 2 separate things for one house.
Both of us, for one house,
Really,
which is
never
very
heard.
unusual. I've
Yeah,
never heard of
they
that.
hit the head of the name on the title, and if they did,
They were
had
hitting
to
us
split
either
it up.
way, no matter what.
They
They were
wanted-
gonna
They
nail
were going to
us.
take us down.
One of us,
They
at
wanted us
least.
gone. Yeah, it was their way to say we're going to get you, and we both end up in the end with criminal charges, different fines. I go to jail.
Criminally charged for what?
Exactly. Oh no, they said
Mine was
mine it
not
says for
fully
selling the
funded.
house, and then they'll lie in this court and say, oh no, he's definitely was charged with this, something else. But they're saying because what I was charged with wasn't a criminal offense, but it's all over their docket, which I told Russo. I said, Your Honor, you can go on their website and you can see their line. They also said they weren't going to vacate, and they lied to this judge and said they weren't. Well, the letters in their folder, if you go online on their docket where you see how they send stuff out, it sees the letter. It says we are going to vacate your case. They even verbally told her not to pay her tickets because they were going to vacate. And if we didn't pay them, I said, I'm nervous. Let's go pay your ticket and make sure we get this out of the way. They told us not to. Now, mind you, we ended up, I think, a warrant.
Who told you not to do it?
The clerk of
Courts.
courts
Yeah.
said not, because he was vacating. That's where our attorney messed up too, because I didn't understand why he wouldn't do both of ours at the same time.
So he's
but
taking me
he's
to court Garfield.
getting his to get vacated, and I go in to pay our fees, and the clerk of courts tells me not to pay his because it's getting vacated. I says, well, no, I'm going to pay it just in case.
The lawyer's thinking you get one win, then she wins, I think. That's what I think. But we didn't understand because we signed with both of us. But he only wants me in the court. But, well, we got to back up. That's later.
Yeah, that's later.
So we get to court. We go up. We pled that. We get another court date. Come back. Up comes a guy who we think's a public defender who's there to help us with the prosecutor. Now, it's so loud. Here's a key. Before I tell you this, you need to understand Dave is on video, who's the IT guy for the Clerk of Courts. He's the head guy who's supposed to just copy, paste, burn, and hand over. You know how that goes. It's transcripts. It's video. That's what he's supposed to do. Not that. So it don't take long. And they will animately tell you it only takes 3 days for the transcripts, 4 days if they have to mail it. That's what they say.
Okay, back to court. We
Back
go
to
to
court. So we're up there, and this guy's trying, never divulges who he is. Now, he's with the prosecutor. Now, we see something funny's going on, or something not right, but we're in front by the judge. Judge is getting annoyed because we're talking so loud, but Dave will tell you on transcripts, that's how it's recorded, only by the sounds.
Yeah, the cameras.
He says the camera only picks up if it hears a sound. Yeah, because we asked for one angle transcripts. He said, no, but that's later. But I need you to understand, this guy's telling us it's only by voice activation. Now, we're creating a scene while the judges, we're right here talking. That judge is maybe just a hair a little over right here. She's getting annoyed we're so loud because he wants us to change our plea, and we don't want to change our plea. We don't want it. He kept going on. I go, Andre, she goes, no, we're not changing our plea. Then he finally goes, I will dismiss your case if you change your plea, no contest. And he used the word dismissed. We looked at each other, prosecutor standing next to
We're
him.
like, okay.
Okay. So as we walk up and come back, one of the 2 court dates, he literally walks up, Mr. Leffel walks up, turn around, Andre, you know, to the prosecutor. Prosecutor turned around.
Yeah, that was, I'm
Well,
like, did
and
you
that's
see
like,
that?
oh
They're
my
wiping each other's
God!
shoulders off.
They're sitting there saying, oh, you're squeaky clean. Okay, something's up. But we didn't know this is Mr. Leffel who wrote our point of sale.
Who's?
Mr. Leffel.
Leffel. Michael Leffel.
Michael Leffel. He's the guy
We
who wrote
didn't
the
know
point of
this
sale.
till I think it was the
Third
hearing or something?
Because the judge goes, oh, Mr. Leffel says you got your permits.
We're like, you're Mike Leffel?
Yeah, but before we get to that, we never know who this guy is. He's standing next to us. He has the point of sale, half a sheet, and that's it. No pictures, nothing. It says 1 of 2 pages. First page is a general note, which you're going to hear the building commissioner on video read the whole thing off, saying that one don't matter, and the second one is what matters because that's your list. He reads it off later. You're going to see that on video. But the judge goes, oh, this ain't your point of sale when we get there, you know. And I'm like, Your Honor, yes it is. And the guy who can write it right there, who's withholding information, we still didn't note it, could have sat there and said, yes it is, Your Honor, I wrote it.
Yeah, he
He'll
changed the
never tell the
subject.
judge. He changed the subject. So he doesn't divulge this. So I can't tell you all the video we catch that what he's actually doing in between these, that we end up getting the full court dates because they wouldn't give me mine. But so we go into court. We're telling the judge how we want to have the daughter's graduation party and this and that. None of this is going to be in transcripts. There's 3 altered. One way, whether turning the video down or something, there is 3 altered dates, not 1 date. So it's not like I'm saying there's 1 up. No, there's 3.
So we get convicted. They
Whoa, wait a
they
minute.
sentenced us.
No, wait a minute, because she orders permits. You're
Yeah, right.
rushing. So these court dates are going on. She's going, can you get it fixed? And I've never appealed. I've never pled. Sir, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I say I'm wrong. I was speeding or something. I've never had nothing bad my whole life other than traffic. I've always admitted, you know, because you do wrong. You know, even taught my kids that's how you do it. So as the court's going, she's going, well, why aren't they giving you permits? And she's ordering him constantly to court. She's
And we're
telling him.
thinking it's being vacated because that's what it's going to be thrown out because that's what we're
But
being
he's
told. So we're
ordered it.
not sure what's going on at this point.
And you know, all cases are supposed to be hold. You can't take another action. While he's ordered, I think the same day he's supposed to be in one of those court dates, he goes down and files a demo house. Shelley Davis personally told us the head.
It's never
Sure.
been
Who
condemned
you
or
pay taxes
anything,
in.
and
Yeah,
usually
never even had a violation
it
ever
has to
in
be
its life.
condemned before it's put on a demo.
Yeah, she says they did not do due press. She goes, I don't know what this guy's doing. He just comes down and goes straight to demo. I go,
Who was this?
Shelley Davis, our county auditor,
No,
the
who?
judge.
Who?
Mark Morrow, the commissioner.
Mark Morrow.
Mark Morrow.
Morrow. M-O-R-O. It's simple, not like 2 R's. It's M-O-R-O. It's short.
Yeah.
And that's the key. Search engine. Here you go, buddy. Put in his name and put in the word corruption. Then it shows up. All right, so we're sitting here telling the judge she's ordering him to come. He's taking actions against us. Oh, and by the way, for services not rendered, he also puts a lien on the house already for demo in the house. And he's supposed to be in court over and over. He never does show up in court. Probably because in the back of his mind he knows he's falsified permits. He could never do that court thing.
And the judge did say, I want him here.
I
the
want
next
him
court
here.
date.
If you're lying to me, Mr. Judge, I'm throwing you in jail. Your Honor, I agree.
Next
Please
court
bring
date
him in.
comes
Thank
along,
you, Your Honor. I'm
And
thanking
you
you.
don't have him there.
He never
and
comes.
Leffel
3 times.
goes up to the judge and says to her,
Ooh.
Mark Morrow, he doesn't have to
Tomorrow
be
they
here,
have to
does
be here.
he?
We're not even at the podium.
When
Okay.
she ordered him the time before that he had to be there, really great. We need him. We want to face him.
Yeah,
and
we
ask
want
him
to face
some
this guy.
questions.
Well, she goes, well, I'm telling you what, because they aren't giving him much. She goes, I'm ordering them. She looks at Mr. Leffel. We still didn't notice Mr. Leffel. She goes, I'm ordering them to give you permits. She goes, you can go down right now. We walked out that door that day, went home, used the bathroom, and went straight there and sat there all day. Left for lunch, come back, and until 4:20, they closed at 4:30. He walks up and gives us a couple permits. Then, and because then he's just
Yeah, finally, after she ordered.
Yeah, after she orders, but this isn't in transcripts. All right,
This is Leffel.
Leffel. Or wait a minute.
They gave you the permits.
Yeah,
Finally.
no, who handed them was just a lady in
Just
office.
some random
yeah.
lady.
No, yeah, Morrow, yeah, just a lady in there. They gave us our permits, what we asked for.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just getting hit with all this stuff. We're like, we can't believe it, but we're so happy. We got our permits. And then the next court date, Your Honor goes, oh, so Mr. Leffel said you, oh, that's when she says, she goes, Mr. Leffel said you got your permits. We're like, Leffel? And first of all, when did Leffel walk up to you and talk to you, Judge? This is on video. When did he walk up and tell you that?
I do want to mention one thing and back up a
Please.
little bit. Is
Please.
one of the times we went in there to talk to Mark Morrow specifically, and we got him. We were telling him that, why are you trying to tear our house down?
Yeah.
Like, what is the problem? Like, you know, and he says, your house don't even have electrical in it, which
Oh, yeah.
is a lie. We got
We
pictures
got him,
of
we have him
the
on
boy-
video telling us. Now, Mr. Leffel's standing behind us. He's gonna pop in this video. So 3 times we got him walking. He walked up to the prosecutor, told the prosecutor what to say. You got video of this too. He told the prosecutor what to say on one of the court dates. He goes, tell him it's real bad. And by the way, we ain't at the podium. There are other people coming up. He's sneaking over and telling them, because we got the whole day's transcript. They didn't want us to get it. So he's telling him, he goes, tell him it's real bad. He leaves, comes back, and again to remind, he goes, remember Sunset, laughing. I'll show you the video here. He goes, he's laughing. I mean, mind you, they're laughing at us as they do this. Leffel and Morrow. You'll see sinister looks and him throwing in my face, I got pictures he's taking us down with. But he won't give us these pictures. Because we knew what they were. You just knew. So where are we at? We're not quite sentenced yet, because wait till you get to that. So let's just jump to it then. The day of court, we think it's all over. I go, don't worry. She goes, they're gonna throw us in jail. I go, they can't. It's not a criminal offense. Don't worry.
He did, and I'm like,
Well, before they do, mind you, I went to jail in under 2 minutes. Both of us got charged, and there wasn't a prosecutor. Never said a word. Never said a word. He was playing on his phone. You'll have video. He's just
He
playing
wasn't
on his phone.
engaged.
He wasn't engaged until she said we felt threatened. And the judge says, why? Who physically threatened you? I guess verbal don't matter, because she said physical. But also, you will have her on the stand saying these words. The building department is the biggest problem. Or you guys think I guess the police or something. She goes, you think this is the biggest problem? She goes, the building department is the biggest problem. She goes, oh, but you, Mr. Leffel. On the stand, on video.
Is this the same judge that ordered to get?
5 court dates, technically. 4 with her, and none. That's 5 court dates for one, simply a point of sale. You know what I mean? And a house that never had a violation. They didn't come in violation. They were invited in by the judge to just write a point of sale, or by the bank to write the point of sale. There was never a violation. You can look this house up. In fact, they just written off that had brand new siding, so your house can't be
with Cuyahoga
staying.
County.
With Cuyahoga County.
Which was weird.
And, you know, house is structurally sound. They ain't gonna allow them to put up siding if the house ain't structurally sound. Why would they allow them? But I would confront him, and you will see this in video when I confront him. He goes, well, that's still coming. That's in the court dates later when it comes to Cuyahoga. When we run into him right after the court date, 2 days before
Okay,
Christmas.
move on, because we don't have a lot of time.
So,
I don't want to. Yeah.
okay, so, thank you, because we were stressed about that. We said we'll take an hour, maybe 2. So, we go up. Remember, we're thinking it's coming to an end. She comes up, she goes, so are we done here? Not this one, but the one with our, we had, I asked our realtor, something fishy's going on, and she said you had to have it done by the building department. No, she didn't. You're going to see this in court. She says that, but you'll watch court dates and you'll see she didn't say that. So I asked the realtor from Howard Hand, I said, I got to have a very respectable who's licensed and insured. By the way, on the front of their point of sale says they don't guarantee their point of sales. They're not insured or guaranteed. So what does it mean? But when you pay for someone who's registered in Ohio, an inspector, by the way, he used to work for Columbus, so we figured, big guy, realtor says this is the best. So we use him.
Yeah, he was a county inspector.
County inspector or
In
something.
Columbus.
Yeah, in Columbus. So he come in to walk the house. I said, first, do everything that's on that point of sale, make sure that we covered it, and then a house overall that we can occupy, because they won't let us have occupancy. They won't let us in this house, and they still won't.
I don't want to interrupt, but what is the deal with this property?
I don't know.
What-
Well, they have an easement on our property, and we're not sure exactly. I mean, we've never
You
ran
want
into
opinions?
nothing like this, and we have theories of what it might be, but
Yeah, you want it?
we don't know for sure. Like, we know that they run their piping, their sewage or whatever
Yeah.
through the
So
property.
they
So
put
they
an
have an
easement.
easement.
They don't have an understanding with us.
Now they did repave the upper part because it's like a circle
I
where we live.
actually Googled it. It came up on Zillow, and I'm like, you guys are going through all this for what?
Yeah, and
Oh,
so
it
they
gets
paved
worse.
the upper half, but they haven't paved the bottom half where we live, and we're like, why? I mean, is that
If
got
they
something
asked
to
us,
do
we
with
would
this
tell them
easement
yes.
that they got?
If they
Is
ever
that
said-
what their problem is with us?
If it was, if they knocked the
know.
door, we'd be like, sure, please, fix it. We get it. You're helping the neighbors. We get it. We wouldn't have a problem.
I mean, all the
She
neighbors
thinks that's
like
it.
us, they
But
all
this-
wave to us, it's,
But this is a fact. Everybody around us on that street, somehow or another, is involved in the city of Garfield Heights. Like Lake Car Street's the head of Board of Education and this and that. But they're all, and they'll tell you they're all very close, and they don't have a problem saying it. Wait a minute, we don't want to leave.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to throw you off, but this is
What was? Oh, it gets odd.
it's very
If it's all
odd.
video, you're gonna have video, so you're gonna
I've
have
never
video.
heard of such
Yeah,
a thing.
even a realtor goes, I can't believe this is happening to you. You guys got criminal, both of us get criminal charges. Oh, and that's, okay, so we're there in front of Judge. I go, Judge, I go, right here, please, we did get inspected. She goes, are we done here? I go, yes, Your Honor. She goes, huh? You watch that video, sir. She looks at Mr. Leffel like, this ain't my opinion, what we talked about. You just gotta watch the video. I go, yes, Your Honor, we're done. She goes, huh? Look at the sorry, she didn't look at the prosecutor because he was over there on his phone. He wasn't even at the podium, really. Until she's going, well, what's going on here? I told you this had to be done. And she's looking at Mr. Leffel, straight eye contact, like, what's... And even before I go to jail, he knew it was coming. You see him.
stepped out of
He
the way.
stepped out of the way, smile. You know, what's Mr. Leffel? Like,
They all did,
They knew
huh?
what was coming. They knew what was coming. We didn't even know.
I was just like, you see me go, Ray! Like, what happened?
Wait a minute. She's going, well, this and that. I told you. She goes, well, we feel inspected. Please, Your Honor, just look at it. Just take it in your hand and drop it. At least you say you've seen it. She never once would look at none of our evidence. And even when she called me a liar to aid my point of sale, he was right there. He could have said, yeah, it is, because I actually wrote it. And obviously, they're having talks behind the scene, because she straight says, and you'll be able to watch it, Mr. Leffel said you got your permits. Yes, we were just happy that she acknowledged it. And by the way, she was charged for not pulling permits. Yeah, that's her charge.
Yeah, and they convicted me of it, too.
And they convicted her of it.
And she acknowledges in court.
In court,
that
she goes,
they were
I see you got
full.
your,
So how do
Mr.
you
Leffel said you got your permit.
convict
That's
me
when
of
we like,
something you
Mr.
admit?
Leffel, I didn't put it together psychologically, she did. That was Mr. Leffel. I was just overwhelmed by so much going on at the time. And this is a couple court dates later when she finally says his name. I was like, so that's when I was like, oh my God, because it's flashed in my head. You're right, she did. But it's on video. What they allow us to have, by the way, on video.
so they actually let you have video.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
but
it
that
took
took
a
a
while.
long time. Well, first I
They
go
were
in to get
supposed to-
mine. After I get out of jail, I go to get mine. Right away, I knew something was up. I go to get them. You'll see on the paper, I ask clearly for a full day's court, because when you're in court, you're allowed to have that full days, they say. So I asked for full days, and it's on the paper. We got that too. And she goes, they didn't. And that took them a month or so. It took them a while. I don't want to be quoted. It took them a while to give me mine, but they're only giving me the little clip. The little tiny clip. Just quick and gone. No. Someone's like, oh, she's got a court case number. But this is where Dave figures it out. She has a court case. Oh, we'll go around. Andre, go in there and ask for your permits, but make sure you say whole day. So she does. So
Not permits.
transcripts. So she asks for them. Now, it's taking, a week goes by, we call Donna, the head of Clerk of Courts. By the way, I just called the judge out, because while we're paying one of the fines, here we go. She's paying the fine. Out comes walking Donna. And I don't know who she's talking to. Dave rushes up to her. I am not exaggerating. I am this close.
Donna or the judge?
Donna. Donna comes out. Remember, you're paying the ticket.
Oh.
Remember? Donna comes out,
I didn't
and
hear.
that was Donna. Donna comes out, and Dave walks up to her going, Donna, you got to see this video. You got to see this, because I play it, got to see this video. And she's talking, and I'll tell you what they're talking, their story, because it's happening. The other guy's going, oh, you should switch over, boats to an RV, and because she had one and they had the other, and he's going, this is where it's at now. And Dave's antsy. Dave's a very antsy guy, the head of, or the IT guy for the Clerk of Courts. By the way, his office is always across the hall in a private room he comes out of. not in the Clerk of Courts. So he comes out telling Donna, you gotta see it. She's like, I'm busy, wait a minute. I gotta see this video. She's talking, and then finally she goes, Donna, you gotta see. She goes, listen, I'll look at it when I get back from lunch, which means she's admitting she's being on the clock. When I get back from lunch, I'll look at it then. No one is to see that video. Now this is where we differed, because I swear she said strictly. And this is the one video I gave to her, and it was lost. But listen, I called up the lawyer. I said, listen, it's time-stamped when I paid ticket. You will see video. I'm letting them believe. You guys, I let them believe, because I got to tell the truth. I let them believe that I had that video, because I can give the whole story. And if he brings up their security cameras, he's going to see that I told the truth. I knew it. He would see it. So, but he won't answer. He didn't answer back to that once he knew, because he always answered my emails, but he wouldn't answer that email. And this was just recently, because the realtor says, give him an opportunity to repair it, Ray. Send them a thing and say, before you keep saying it, give them an opportunity so they can't say you did it. So, it's just, so, even we're missing stuff, because
So
now,
we're
okay,
lawyer.
so yeah, go to jail, we find out, she gets the transcripts, we see they're fishy, because it takes, we're calling up there, and they're literally yelling us. They'll say, Donna says Dave's got it. Dave will call Dave. Dave says Donna's got it. Going back and forth. It took a month and a half, 1 day short, a month and a half of us getting the second transcripts. Of course, they had to put them together and match them. Because he goes, oh, you'll see video. He goes, oh, so what account do I put these on? So he knew. He knew right away that he was matching them up. And while I'm recording, you got video of this. While I'm sitting here recording, he goes, oh my God, I'm getting so mixed up, so much is happening. Where was I? Oh, I'm telling him, and on video, and he's giving us every excuse why he can't give me one angle. He says, oh, it's only by voice activate. I'm like, oh, come on, you're lying. I just want one angle, so I knew they couldn't cut it up and chop it up and show us. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, if somebody walks in threatening the judge, and just because they walk up and didn't say nothing, you're going to tell me you're never going to see it? Right. And we knew what he was pulling. He's covering himself. This guy talks a lot. And then he goes, well, I got to know what account to put it on because the judge says I have to charge you more. Judge? You work for the Clerk of Courts, buddy. Does the judge get to choose prices after she puts that gavel down? No, I don't think so. She works
Charge you for what?
more
For the
for the
transcripts.
transcripts. We have to pay more for them.
Like $60 or something like
More,
that.
yeah. It's on video. You have it on video, sir. Yeah. Now, this guy sits here. Just before it ends, you know what he does? He goes, well, it's not like and I want him to this day to say, what was that word you were going to say?
We all
Edit.
started
We
giggling.
knew. We started laughing because we knew he was editing them. You'll see the video. You're going to hear us laughing. He laughs, I laugh. Because he goes, well, it's not like and he's caught himself. He caught himself. And we started laughing because we knew. And you're going to see me ask him because I knew he was alternate. I go, so the time's going to line up right. He goes, oh yeah, I'm making sure. Oh, okay. Because I knew he was. Because I've done websites. I used to own the newspaper Slab Village way back, and I do websites. So I can, I knew when, a camera switches, the time jumps, but the time stays the same. No, this time stays right. So they're doing it in layers. That's what he's doing. That's why it's so hard for him to do this, because he has to make sure what he takes out, and when they lay that new time, it adds up right. I know what it is. But, so I'm pretty much getting a good chunk of that out, huh?
Okay, go on.
But you got to understand, in this time, he's driving by, pointing at the house like that,
Yeah.
I'm coming for you touchdown thing, as he drives by, like, while we're doing this is all going on. So finally we get a lawyer. I asked my realtor, I go, I need a lawyer. He gives me a lawyer, and to this day he regrets it. He regrets it. This lawyer ended up falling into their game because they end up suing him. And while they're even suing him, this has ended up in another court in Cuyahoga. Straight out, the second, and Russo called him out. He goes, I'm letting him go, because we're in California. I'm stupid. We're working at Yosemite, a park system by Yosemite, and I am not allowed to have criminal charges, and I'm dumb. I forgot. I'm not used to having no criminal charge. I drive us all out there to work. So we work, and this lawyer says, go on, go. I'll handle the case. We knew something was up. We knew something was up. I said, no, we got to go back. And we're like, we're going to leave this. And I was like, Andre, I just remembered I got a criminal offense. I can't take this job. And we're already working there. So they already, have me moving towards assistant to be. So we rush back. We come back to Ohio. He meets us in this building here. He sits there and he meets us, and I'm telling him, I'm letting you go. He goes, you're letting me go? And I said, yeah. And he asked to be let go. And he goes, they're suing me. I go, why are they suing? He goes, for taking the case. No, because he didn't appeal. So they had him in his grips. So he comes to us while we're outside court here in the building. That's what I was asking. You guys need to get to.
Well, remember, when they went to go vacate him, I just want to mention this. When
Okay,
they went to go
please.
vacate him, the judge was getting ready to vacate
Oh,
it,
yeah.
and the prosecutor says, well, this could be, I don't know what the word he used,
Yeah, that's different
but
video.
he was saying they're suing us. And she goes, they're suing us? And he says, yes. And she says, then no, I'm not vacating it. And then
Yeah.
then
The
I just
lawyer
wanted to
said
mention
we got a deal, it wasn't no money. We didn't care about money. We just wanted our home. I've never sued nobody like this. I've never appealed, never done nothing. So, that was kind of all new to us. But when you're going to ask, why didn't we say something about the change of plea and this and that? Why didn't we step and say? Because, we wanted our permits. So we thought, judges are going to give us permits and we're going to go. And we thought they'd send something in the mail saying they were dismissing the case when it was in Garfield. But, and I know I'm going to leave out so much because it's the evidence. There's so much evidence that's overwhelming.
What attorney do you have? Who, you remember what his
Eric Nevin. Neville. He's with Foth and Foth. Now here's the thing. So he walks Foth, F-R-O, yeah, the lawyer. He's the one who said, "Oh yeah, we're going to make these birds sing."
yeah, they were very confident.
They were very confident they had the case. The elderly man I wanted to take job, who knew my realtor, they were good friends. I can tell this guy knew stuff. Well, I think he gave it to a newbie lawyer who's not done nothing. He's new, which that comes.
And he told us that he found significant evidence that was strengthening our
the
case.
I got the email.
And we never found out
He never
what that
gave
was.
it to us because you know why? He's messing up.
Because shortly after that, they sued him, and we ended up dropping
So
him.
outside the court, he's with the law director. I'm fine. He comes up and he goes, "So you said you had pictures. Are these the pictures?" He goes like that. "Do you have these pictures?" I'm sorry. I kind of lied, but he ain't my lawyer at the time, so I didn't owe him next place. I didn't lie. I just said, "No, I guess I didn't have those pictures." He wanted to know if I had them because they submitted those altered documents to the judge. And it's not just altered. There are two pictures on one piece of paper, and the one next to it's just a blow up of that one. It's different. No, I don't even
They
gotta prove
turned
it.
the contrast up way up.
Oh
So
yeah,
even
everything
the
that looked brand new looked
old
terrible.
and terrible.
Absolutely. When I can show you pictures in here even that the lights were on. And by the way, this guy, one of the times, he was like, he kept going back to the file cabinet to nail. See, you don't got electricity. He's yelling at us. You'll see all video of that too. 3 different times till Mr. Leffel walks up and goes, "No, this is their address. Tell him you're gonna demo it. It needs to be demoed." He literally told him to say it, and he did. And he actually whispered it because how he whispered in his ear, a conscious thing. Someone whispered something. He goes, and then when I finally let him talk, the second he told him, he goes, "Oh, it needs to be demoed." It's like, why are you whispering it to me? Kind of like, quiet. But it's on video.
Yeah.
It's on video. It's clear. Okay, so where were we that,
So we end up going to Ohio County Courts, and we have this Eric as our attorney, and he says he has significant evidence. We come back from California. We mix up the dates.
Yeah, we were 1 day short of one of those court dates.
Yeah,
We thought we were back in time, and that's when we knew something was wrong, so we told him we're letting him go. But yet he walks up showing me his papers with them, and I go, "Can I please have a copy?" He goes, "No, I borrowed them. I have to give them back." That's what he said.
So this is Eric.
Eric, yes. Oh, it gets better, because the judge called him out. This is
Yeah,
real.
the judge does
Watch
call
wait till you hear
Garfield.
You
this.
guys were down here.
Yes?
Yeah. Judge
nine
Russo, he
something.
called out our attorney and Garfield and says, "There's something going
Wait a
on
minute.
here."
But he asks him. He goes, "So what's going on?" They said, I go, "I'm letting my lawyer go." The second I let him go, you can't count seconds. Garfield leans over and goes, "Okay, we're dropping the case against both and both." Judge leans back and he goes, "Okay, what's going on here? What kind of deal do you guys got?" To the lawyer who's sitting behind me, he didn't even understand why he just came back to the second court date. And then they go, "We're dropping the case." And the judge goes, "Well, don't you think the lawyer bears some of the burden on this?" And they didn't care.
Not just-
They said, no, we're dropping the case against him. So it's like, oh, so you're going to continue attacking us. Because they were getting us on frivolous because he filed wrong.
Yeah.
It was almost like he did this intentionally. Yes, there should be an investigation just on him too. The lawyer, there it is. Because he's withheld information. He's lied. It's just, So, yeah, we're in there and that judge says, and then he calls him out saying, what's your insurance cap to Garfield? $25,000. He goes, what's your insurance cap? He goes, now, Mr. Such, you know what you can go after him for. He goes, I don't know, but you guys, you
The
might
judge
be being
actually
sued.
asked our lawyer, why are you even here?
Yeah,
And
because he had an interest with them.
because he shouldn't have
Right,
been there, he
that's
was no
the
longer
thing.
our attorney,
Yeah.
you know,
And
and he
he
wanted to
came
know, why are you here? And he says, well, something about getting sued, and the judge goes,
I
well, I
wasn't-
can't tell you you're not gonna get sued.
He goes, yeah, I ain't gonna tell you
Which
when
we
you
had
He
to
goes, he goes, I don't know about you, but you might be being
afford
sued.
a lawyer, so.
Yeah, he took all our money. We paid him. My realtor helped. And put it this way, when they rushed us to pay, it took all our money. Remember, we borrowed money. But our realtor gave us the money to finish the house, so he knew we finished the house.
And this is Ron.
Ron Casella.
Ron Casella,
Yeah.
yeah.
But this Dave, when you end up watching this video, you'll crack him. He can't. He talks and talks. You just let him sit in one place like here and watch. He'll
Ron
probably-
is Howard Hanna.
Yes. You're gonna watch video of me being so polite, always the judge, even though I'm being beat down. Eric would never let me say a word. He told me I'm not allowed. So you're gonna see me just sit there like this every time in court because I'm not allowed to say nothing. He wouldn't let me. He goes, don't say nothing. And I go, what about all this video? He goes, we're not allowed to use it. Why? He goes, because they're saying you better have it by professionals looked at. It's like, man, if you don't even got any professional, just you see the video, what they're saying. You
Yeah,
don't
you
need a
hear what they're
professional.
saying.
He said he wouldn't use none of it. Yep. He says because you got the money to pay for an expert. Oh, that was it. For an expert to authenticate it. And it's like, well, no, but it's the burden on the case still. He wouldn't use none of it. Because he thought he was like, okay, he was looking for a quick win. You know, he was just supposed to get us occupancy and
They got to him.
They got to him. Well, of course, they're suing him.
Sure.
So you make a deal and he's going to get him to drop the lawsuit against him.
changed.
And I've never seen something so fast. As soon as I sit there and
He didn't think we were coming back from California until
yeah,
it was.
he thought
'Cause
he
he
had
even said, he goes,
He
"You didn't
yelled
go
at me.
to
He goes,
California."
you didn't even go to California out in the hallway.
Yeah, we did.
But when he left, I knew something was up. Doing that court
He
date,
left
you
with
get ready. Wait a minute.
Garfield.
I seen it, and I go, Andre, come on, now. He's seen it. They didn't think we were going to walk behind him. She's dragging me, going, what are you doing? I go, something's up. And follow me. They walked out together, arm in arm,
And he's
practically.
throwing his-
and he's throwing,
I
I don't
don't know
know
what
what
happened.
happened. Out in the hallway. That's right. If you guys get the security, you got him.
How long ago was it?
Oh, I know.
Our footage only lasts a little.
Then you ain't gonna have it.
Yeah.
This was, it's under a year and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, it's still word against word, but so he goes and leaves. He leaves his colleague behind. Them two bum rushed and left together. The law director Tim Riley leaves with Eric Neville's or something, and then literally he almost smacked the law director in the face by hitting him. He goes, I don't know what happened like this when they're walking in a courtroom. He didn't see us behind him. So, anyways, he leaves. They go get her. She goes, I got to use the bathroom. She goes to the bathroom. I stop. Out comes the lawyer. He goes, well, where's the law director? You see him? I go, yeah, he left with my lawyer. And he's looking at me. He goes, I'm sorry this is happening. They were just the
Who said this?
The lawyer
people
for
that they
Garfield.
paid another lawyer for Garfield. He left him behind, the law director, because they were too busy to leave. He goes, where are you? I go, I'm sorry, he left with my lawyer. Like that. He goes, he looked at me, he goes, I'm sorry, this is like that. And I go, I'm sorry too, because I was embarrassed, I was upset, all this is happening. And I felt bad because, he's seen and he made, even them, they're consulting them when she's in Garfield going, it'll be okay, it'll all right. The cops and everything, they see what's going on. I've never seen nothing like this, sir. And to this day, they won't give us occupancy. We can't sell the house, or is it a double jeopardy? We can't sell the house. I'll go to jail because I don't have occupancy. I can't sell the house.
You have all the documents for the house saying it's yours, though, correct?
Oh, yes. No, we paid cash, but we borrowed money. We did it all, and everything was going. This was where we were going to grow old. Now, listen, it put us through a lot in our relationship. We broke up and this and that. And even when I put the law director on the stand, they were trying to tag him like, well, you knew, how come you didn't notify her? They go, we thought you were running the show here. And I go, no, she don't tell me nothing. She even told the truth. I'm sorry.
And this is Tim.
I'm sorry. But
Law director is Tim Lively.
Riley.
Riley.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring it up like this, but they broke us. They broke us in so many ways, but I kept a promise to her that I would fight till this was fixed. And I've given my all my tracks.
You want some Kleenex?
No, I'll be
Are you
honest.
sure? You want some Kleenex?
It's just they won't stop. They're arrogant.
When did this start? How long have you guys been dealing with this?
2017, but when it went to court was
August
in 2018.
22nd, I think
We've
it
been
was.
fighting this.
2017.
That's when we
and
purchased the house.
it, and shortly after that, when it
Yeah,
started.
all the legals just. Everybody else gets extensions. Everyone else is allowed to work on. But we did get it done. Boy, we killed ourselves because the judge says it had to be done. And they said Mark Morrow said the whole house had to be completed. Well, technically by law it was only the point of sale. We had to just satisfy that and everything. But no, she's in there crying in court going, Your Honor, he said we had to have the whole house. And I'm upset because she's upset. Because she's sitting here telling the judge that what's happening, I go, Your Honor, we found it. I found it malicious. He went down and filed a demo of our house. She goes, wait a minute, what? She goes, you know what, I'm going to have him in here. He never ever showed up in court once. And yet, you have a right to face your accuser. And I go to jail on Thanksgiving. My first year, we were living in California. We came here. See, my mother passed away and grew up in Garfield. I was happy to be back in Garfield. I thought, it felt good because that's where they found my mother's body, like months later in some points.
And this was Morrow. You were just talking about.
What was I saying to it?
I'm
sorry.
It's alright, man.
It's just so much.
I know it's a lot. I know. So you guys have been dealing with this for 5 years?
But the thing is, every time something happens, they make you wait. So this is all happening, so we seen that the judge breaks oaths. We see this. I sent 2 separate envelopes to the Supreme Court for disciplinary. I wasn't asking for money. They ask you what you want. You said, yes, we'd like a restitution, but it was more about the discipline for the judge, what she did. Now, here's the thing. I sent, weeks later or something, another letter. I don't remember when, but I sent them separate for the lawyer for disciplinary. I get them back in one envelope, both of them. In one envelope. It's like they combined them. Why would they do that? Then to find out right afterwards, don't hold me to this, but I think the judge is on the disciplinary for the Supreme because I was attacked. We felt we were practically attacked in the letter. But you know what? Yeah, I can't. That is speculation. I will tell you.
But the judges won't stand up for judges, so but that's neither here nor there.
Who was the judge who heard the case? Do you remember?
No judge heard a case. We sent it in for discipline.
No. The judge you're talking about.
N. Castro.
Who?
I don't know.
Nick Castro.
Nick Castro. Nick Castro.
Deborah Castro.
Yeah, Deborah. Nick Castro. She's a very important judge for Garfield Heights.
Deborah's her first name?
Yes.
Now, we were telling Shelley Davis how this happened. I go, is she fair? And she goes, well, she goes, usually, yes, she's fair. I was like, okay. I go, well, it's in her courtroom. And then here, right after we leave, we find she's the one who broke it to us that the house was on demo. They never sent us a letter that they were gonna file the demo and stuff, and they did it while it was in court. If you taking an action, isn't it criminal? That when it's in court, all other actions are supposed to stop till the act, and it's for the point of sale. This house never had a violation. They were brought in by a bank to fix it, and that's what we did. The house is so solid to this day. It's sitting there in drywall, so you can see there's no stress cracks, nothing. You can see our professional work. Didn't paint it even, but everything's done. You know what I mean? Everything's totally done. Turn on the water, flush toilet, everything. It's beautiful. Furnace, everything was wonderful. It's even the same furnace, same hot water tank. The house had a brand new panel, electrical panel, and he's trying to tell us the house didn't have electric. You're gonna see
They
it.
photoshopped those.
They photoshopped, but you know what? Here's the MLS where it shows the lights on in the basement. And all this looks all bad. This is what was redone. And he says it didn't even have a bathroom. It had bathroom was what was done. It was tiled. The rest you can't see it. All the shower was tiled. And the only thing it needed, was that needed plumbing. And he's telling me, because they had it ready to put together. See, no, they lost it to the back. Now, the previous owners, I can throw a rock at them. They're sitting steady. They're renting from those Chamberlains.
That's it. Okay.
I have them. Then their daughter, one of the family members decides to OD in our yard. Wait a minute, with the kid in the yard.
I think it's one of
No,
their...
it is. She told me this is her brother's house that she's going to get. I'm on the phone with 911 saying, I'm going to take the keys out. She's got a kid. You know what it is when they're, I think it was heroin. I think that because she was familiar and she's doped up, she pulled into our yard because she was coming from a house right a couple houses over.
We were working in Strongerville on a job, and my daughter was home, and she looked out the window, and she says, there's a car sitting out front.
In the
It's been
street,
there for
sitting
a
in the
couple
street,
hours.
sitting in the middle of the street park. But then she decides to go in our yard by the time we get home.
And then she says, she calls me back, she says, now they're in the driveway, and there's just
So
sitting
we're
there.
rushing. We dropped the job we're doing. We rush back.
And she had a little
She
baby
was
in the back
drooling,
seat.
mouth over thing,
I thought
cars
she was
running,
dead.
and the baby sitting in the back seat. I'm on the phone now. I said, I'm sorry, but I'm reaching in and taking the keys out. I take them out. Now she's coming to alone. She's going, oh. She goes, this is my brother's house. She goes, fuck you. We're gonna get our house back and this and that. Now, okay, fine, whatever. You can get the 911. You see that. So one day she's going. This is recent. One day we hear bam. The heck? Bam! Every once in a while, something thrown at our house. And I'm always cutting the grass, finding big rocks or bricks in my grass. So one day I just so happened to be out there. I'm on video. He crosses the street illegally, trust me, because he lives, you can see.
Who's this?
The previous owners. Or, well, let's put it this way. The girl that OD'd in the yard, that house came to get her, drove just a couple houses around in their van, got the girl. So she go, the ambulance showed up and the police and all that did.
Yeah.
But it's obvious they were family. I'm almost sure that's the family that is living in here because they're always yelling, making comments. But he literally walks across the street because his house is on the other side of the street, but on the street's a big wraparound. Mm-hmm. So through, on the side where my RV is, you can see the house. And by the way, the father to them who used to live in the house is behind us. They're all that close. It's all, even the neighbors told us, they gave us the tip. They said they lost it to the bank and they were going to get it back and this and that. But
Did these people have anything to do with the city?
Did they?
Well, I've caught at the father's house. I caught Leffel in their yard, parked in their yard. Mr. Leffel. I caught him in the father's yard behind us.
What's the father's name? You know?
His name used to own the title. Then they gave it to the daughter. Daughter lost it to the bank.
I think it's
Something Dickens.
His last name's Dickens, and she married to a Dilly. Dilly's who's I think on the side of us now.
But the Dickens, the gentleman, the father, the old man, that purchased for his daughter,
Yeah.
he lives right above us.
Behind us on the back
Sunset.
at work, kind of side hill.
Too.
Yeah. And put it this way, as soon as we got in there, his wife, as soon as the first couple of days we pulled out of our yard, she got on her ass and started yelling through the window and this and that. Like, I didn't know what she was saying. I was like, wow, this lady's
We didn't know
riding
at
our
the time
ass
they
in.
lived there.
We just got the house and we didn't realize they're attacking us, that what they're doing is they're pissed. And you gotta remember, this lady in the office said, that realtor, some reason, just after we purchased it, we get a letter from the building department. I think that was meant for Paul. I think they sent it to our address because it says Paul from the building, in the building department. And I'll find the letter. Kind of like
a realtor that's
which is obviously the realtor wasn't supposed to sell it to us. I think they were just so mad this was happening. They didn't think about, well, Paul didn't buy the house, you don't send it there to him. But they sent me a letter, and it's to Paul saying, don't quote me, but you'll get the letter along the lines like, this isn't what we agreed upon and this and that. It's unbelievable.
Who was the letter from?
The building department in the city envelopes. It came with the header of the city, and it was to Paul.
And you have all that.
Into our address. Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, it's somewhere. You'll even have a copy, I'm sure, somewhere. And then we're going to
also told that the Chamberlains quietly run.
Right. Oh yeah, I'm down in the valley looking at a car.
So we don't know if they have something to do with
That's
it.
what connected us. The
But we've been
Chamberlains.
told that by
They quietly
many
run
people.
Garfield Heights. That's what we were told. So, and then we find out, well, these people over here where the girl, they're renting from them. And then we put in Google to the guy's name, is linked to the Chamberlains.
What guy?
The guy who's going to purchase the house. Whoever was going to purchase, somebody was purchasing the house. That's what the point of sale was already written, an easy one for somebody to get it. They're pissed because we got that, and they would have wrote it up different. See, their job is, and we have evidence of this, they will come in and write up more and never write off the rest of it. Because why? I'll show you in other courts, everybody's saying the same thing. They don't come in and write off what they do, they add more.
They're consistent.
They're inconsistent. You'll
yeah.
see it in court, other people going, they're getting sued, they're getting warrants for property, and by the way, here you go. Here, this one's going to be a real kicker. After I got out of jail and felt sorry for the guys in there, I took socks up to give the guys up there so they had socks because we were cold up there. And poor you guys are getting nailed for your jail systems, how bad it is. Ain't nothing compared to Garfield's and where I was. I'm talking, there's no lights in the shower, so you're stepping on razors and everything. And never once did they come in clean. They just push the bucket and say clean. I slept on rust. The table was all rusty where you had to take your shirt off, lay it down to eat your food. That's how bad it was. But I bet you'll never show you that. Ask them to show video of me being in jail. Wait a minute. So, as I'm in jail and I come the next day, I come into the jail, but where they book people from court when they're in court, this elderly man comes up, he's sitting there crying, I go, what's wrong? He goes, they're taking my house. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, that's my wife in there in a wheelchair, or fiance in a wheelchair. He goes, I had the house in my name and they're attacking. He goes, they want my house and I don't know why. They want my house. And I was like, okay, well, I'm sorry. He goes, well, I switched names so they'll stop attacking me. He goes, now she's in jail in a wheelchair. And he goes, and he told me it was over his furnace. They're using an excuse saying carbon dioxide is in their house. They want in their house. Here, you find, congratulations on the city's websites. Congratulations, we got the property we wanted. Yeah, now it's flat in the house, and don't quote me. I'm just telling you, it's a fact though. That lady went to jail, so that's a court date day I got out. They ended up losing their house. That house is leveled now. They got a bigger parking lot. Their city. Also, I'm in jail with the guy who bought the VFW. He didn't care for him, I think, because his ethnicity. And I ain't got nothing because I love everybody. I'm friendly. Anyways, I don't think they liked him. He gets thrown in jail while I'm in there. He goes, I don't know why I'm here. Big guy, sports guy. Must have been a football player or something. He owned sports bars and everything. He's a big black guy, you know. He was a nice guy. He didn't use the bathroom the whole weekend. They wouldn't give him a bond. Here, he didn't even own the property no more. He goes, I don't get it. They were just attacking me. I go, well, it was VFW Hall. They went to VFW Hall, and you weren't probably supposed to get it or whatever it is. I go, I don't know. I ain't going to say nothing. He goes, well, I'm in jail. He goes, I sold the property, and all it needed was outside painted. And he goes, and I painted it. He goes, I don't remember if it got closed out or nothing. He goes, but the property's been sold. He goes, I don't even own the property. He was in jail for that property. They had a warrant they put out for him. I got his number. I got his name. It's just it's their tactics. It's their tactics they use when they want something. It don't matter. You're going down. It don't matter. You'll get
But my thing is why your property in particular?
I don't know. I wish I knew
because I
that
think they're
answer.
linked with the building department. Because the guy, the elderly man, also does construction. We thought maybe he's in with the city. They know him because
The elderly man being Chamberlain?
No, I think I can't prove. But yeah, I think they're all connected in the family because put it this way. If supposedly when I was down in the valley, I was looking at a car and they go, oh, you live on Sunset, you know the Chamberlains. Oh, they quietly run the city.
I was told that by a separate person. down
Yeah,
in the-
and I was like,
down
So
in
you
the-
ain't sure.
because they own all the houses
At
on
two
my
different
street,
times.
and they're all city people. They all work for the city and are all connected.
About, not even a month ago, I was told that by another
She
person
told me that.
in Valley View.
She told me that.
In Valley View?
Valley
Yeah,
View
well,
said
we're at the
there's
edge
a
of Valley
guy-
View.
Yeah.
We're
a
right
guy told him that, a
Yeah.
separate guy, and then
And I'll give
another
you his
guy
address
told
if
me
you
that.
want.
And they both, two
I
different
don't even
guys
know
in
what this
Valley
is.
View.
I don't
that
know about
We
this,
don't
but-
know if they know him or not. But
I don't know. She just told me this. She goes, can you believe that? I heard that. I'm not even shocked no more. So it didn't quite faze me because I already knew what I knew from the guy who told me.
yeah,
Yeah, whoever it is has got some pull. And obviously, if you're going to alter transcripts, we didn't even talk about that. The altered transcripts. I mean, they're missing. The judge literally says, I can arbitrarily, and you see the video, I can arbitrarily dismiss this case if he refused to give you permits. Well, that's funny. He refused because that's funny. Next court date, you ordered him. And in fact, not just did you take it out of the court dates, you ordered him. I go, it's funny how the next court date, I come in and go, thank you, Your Honor. You'll see the video. Thank you, Your Honor. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have my permits. I'm thanking the judge. But then all this stuff comes up missing out of transcripts, and so it's either to protect the judge and then when I tell the law director, I got email and stuff, but I'm verbal on the phone. He goes, "Well, it looks like you have a building permit. Why are you messing with the judge?" I really wasn't. Eric was. Eric said, as time goes. So he actually was suing the prosecutor. In there it says the attorney general or something.
The attorney general, that's just normal.
I guess it's a normal
think
procedure,
they do that.
so I get it.
And then
To make sure they do their job. or
stop
something.
that.
And yeah, so
It's just to let them know, I think. I think that's just normal.
yeah, I guess I won't ever speculate. Like my realtor says, he goes, "Just tell him the truth." He goes, I go, "Ron, it's easy." I go, "It's all video and this and that." And so we stuck to
Let me ask you this: what does Ron say about this? I mean, he's a
he's never seen nothing like this. He's
Yeah.
a Vietnam vet. He's an elderly guy. He's so highly guarded. Every realtor knows him. I met him buying my first house when I was a kid. And so he always knew,
he
I
thinks
work
it's
hard.
crazy.
And then put it this way, I work for Howard Hanna. They wouldn't have me. Do you know now? They won't put their name to nothing because I have a criminal offense. No, I can't have nothing. He would write me estimates saying I've been with them for 20 years working and fixing their point of sales and now I got nothing from them. We get cleanouts when people die. That's all I got in work.
So they won't even do business with you anymore.
Not like,
Not
no,
like
because
you
he
used
says
to be
he won't.
doing.
No, yeah, definitely not. Oh no! In fact, he straight out verbally said, he goes, "Ray, I can't put Howard Hanna's name to nothing no more." And Howard Hanna don't back nobody. And I'm a contractor. I told you, because we get the job done. We're known for we fix the problems and get them done. I need pull bonds, I pull my bonds. Anything that needs to be done, I do it properly. I've never failed nothing in 10 simple items. It's a half a page of paper. I promised her when it started. She was so worried about the structural engineer. The guy came in and goes, "Oh, this is a good one. This house is sound." So that was the easiest thing. She thought was the hardest thing and made me promise that if they give us a promise, you promise you're going to fight. And yeah, I fought. So I'm here today to keep this dang promise because this was her first house in her name ever. So this was her dream. But it did. It put us through a lot. I ain't gonna lie. And that's why I'm asking you, don't say that. I've lived in that motorhome because I won't give them the satisfaction because I'm not allowed. I'll go to jail if I live in the house. So I won't give them satisfaction. So I'm living, that's why I invite you. Come see how I live. And you can see I've lived in a motorhome next to a beautiful house. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. Neighbors are even like, it's nice. They compliment. And even when they go, in the court, they go, "You don't do your work, and nothing's been done." Well, that's funny. Go on Google Earth. You'll see where you can see the dump of gravel and the wheelbarrow and the rake where I'm doing the nice driveway, It didn't matter. I was going to jail. She was right. You were right. And I got after her and I said, "They can't throw me in jail. They had a criminal offense." And sure as heck, I never told the kids that I ain't coming home. I had a buddy that was helping us in construction, stayed at the house to watch the house while we left to go to court, and here I don't come home. She's scared to death, She just got a criminal offense. She's going home alone. I go to jail for 10 days. Never thought nothing like this could ever.
You spent 10 days in jail for this.
Yeah. 10 days. During Thanksgiving.
In Garfield Heights Jail.
Garfield Heights Jail. 10 days.
Thanksgiving, yeah, he wasn't home for Thanksgiving.
And that was my first. That was our first house, and we were living in California, and grandkids were going to come and everything. And every time Thanksgiving comes now, I'm so embarrassed.
Thanksgiving when? What year? November.
2018, 19.
I think it was.
Yeah, it wasn't just go to jail. It was go to jail and stick me in jail. They wanted to run me off.
The date was.
But like
you said the 16th. I'm sorry.
November 16th, I believe.
Yeah, no, we purchased a house in it was 17. 2017.
No, November 16th,
2018. 16. Oh, you're talking about, the court date is 11/16. Yeah, I know that. I never forget that. I've just never seen nothing like
So you've been literally I'm going to throw this out there. You are living on your own property with your own house. It's lived
Yes!
in an RV in your yard.
Yep. Years. And then I'd stay in another house of a friend who's getting, and I'd stay there because it's hard going through those winters. We're going through these winters. I got 2 heaters hooked up. I've roughed it. I am roughing it. I invite you over. I'll cook you dinner in my RV, and it's not made for living like that. I just wanted it over. I want us to be there to sell the house so she can have money.
I wanted to go into this house. I loved it with its view. They just took this away from us. They took all our dreams away from us. And I feel bad for what she's been through.
She's crying in court, Your Honor. We feel threatened. She's constantly telling them what they're doing to us. I'm sorry. I'm okay.
No, you're good, man.
I'm okay. You know what? This is it. This is what I told her. This is where it's finally we can say we trust you guys.
I'm gonna get. If I can't do something, I'm gonna get you in the right direction.
I believe you.
Tell you
Thank
that
you.
right
I
now.
believe you, sir. God bless you.
This is.
They've never reached out, even tried talking to us. By law, they're supposed to show initiative that they try to resolve any issue, even if it's small. They've never once. It's always been attacked. Always been attacked. Never been.
So, Chamberlain rented the property prior to, correct?
No.
No.
Chambers lands who they're renting to is the previous owners now.
Yeah, we believe that
Yeah,
they're
that's
renting to the previous owners of property that they
Basically,
own.
they got an interest to
Dickens.
get them into this.
Dickens?
And
Dilly.
Dilly.
Dilly
Yeah,
and Dickens.
Dickens
They're
is
married.
the
Wife
maiden
and
name
husband.
of her.
So who owned the house prior to you guys purchasing it?
Dilly and Dickens.
Dilly.
Dilly and
Dickens owned
Dickens.
it.
Yeah. They're staying and renting from a Chamberlain.
Who lives behind you?
No, that's
A different Chamberlain.
no, that's across the street. They're around us.
Oh yeah,
They
their
own our
family.
house.
The neighbors next door
That's
to
the
us.
one
They're
when you put
all
that name
connected. They're
through-
all family.
So they have an interest to get them out of the house they're renting. So it looks like they put them up in the house to say, wait, we'll get you back in your house. That's my opinion, is we'll get you back in your house. Just sit steady. Now they're probably tired of this happening, so everything's starting to push. And then all of a sudden, are you ready what just happened to us? A year ago to right now, the taxes started attacking us for 3,000 something. So
Property taxes.
wait a minute, this is just happening yesterday too. So we're like, we paid a lump sum of 1,000, which is over the year's payment and some. So mind you, if we paid a year and some, guess what? They're foreclosing right now on our house.
Well, now they're not.
Well, now they're not
They
today.
fixed it.
Yesterday, took our money and they charged us a filing fee of $425. Now I started looking up who this part.
Because we owe back taxes
We
from
owe
when
back
all this
taxes 'cause we
started,
lost
like
our
in
work.
18 and 19.
We
You know,
lost
when we were
work.
paying for an attorney and all that, so we couldn't really
Yeah,
afford
it was
taxes.
hard.
So
But-
we're trying to
but-
catch up.
When we came in,
Yeah.
we paid 1,000. The lady put on a note, we are self-paying and that they will make another lump sum. For some reason, we got a letter and they didn't send us a letter in the mail. And they can't lie because you can hook up with the mail service. They take a picture and send you on mail. They never sent us nothing saying they
Yeah,
were
but there's
foreclosed.
nothing we could
She
do,
luckily
so we
looked it
just
up and
paid.
all of a sudden on the county auditor it says they're foreclosing on our house. This has just happened. And it's like, it hasn't been a year. I paid a year and extra. We were covered. So it kind of covers you. And even she said they will make another lump sum that they are self-paying so they wouldn't go to collections. So they're making us do it. And you know, if we miss one payment, now I got to pay the full month plus another thing. Plus, I paid $1,000 that I didn't have. I had $9 left in my account. I didn't even have to borrow the gas to get here to park here. And now they're sitting here foreclosing on our house. And I know if I miss one payment or scared if they don't accept it for some reason, the house is gone now. I knew they're being used as, my opinion, a revengeful tool. But that's my opinion. I can't say. I only tell you the facts, and you got a lot of video. I know it's a lot to go through. It's a lot, but it's video. Bless you, sir. Yeah, so this is what we're living with today, even we're scared. But I did get a payment plan, but I know how it is, and we explained that lady. She put a note on there saying that we will self-pay, and they took it off. The notes on it.
So you went to the city of Garfield Heights, set up a payment plan.
No.
No,
The county auditor. The county auditor. Somebody obviously
For
is
the
tipping
taxes.
them off to say go after them for $3,000. I can show you houses all around us that are like tens of $1,000s they foreclose on. They don't just foreclose for 3,000 something, and they add another about what our half of a year's taxes are. They add a fee on that I have to pay and don't get back just for filing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't even send a letter to us, and he just put a Y on there saying they're foreclosing on your taxes. That's it, and I had to pay that. And it wiped me out. And if I went, and it just so happened I went in with all my money in my bank with $1,000, and it's funny, it came exactly to $1,000 I had to pay to get this should stop the foreclosure. Now we're broke. I don't have nothing. I have enough gas to get home, and that's how I live. I'm stuck in my motorhome. That's what it is. What do you do? But God bless you guys. I do believe you guys are true law. I trust you guys. That's all we said. When we came to you guys downstairs, they said, you mean they submitted altered documents? They said, don't worry, we'll look into it. And thank God this is where we're at. I've never seen it.
I'll work some angles.
Whatever it
Seems like
is.
that's an ongoing trend in the city of Garfield Heights to do this.
Oh no!
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Oh yeah. Anyone who lives in Garfield knows that they're the way they are. They're very strict. I get it. I mean, the worst thing I ever had in my whole life was a ticket for driving, and that was always Garfield. They've always hit me the hardest, you know. But that was when I was young. So when you're older and you never have nothing in your whole life, now I get a criminal offense. How can they do that to people? For something, it's not a criminal offense.
Yeah,
It's a
they don't even
victimless
try to
crime.
work with you.
Yeah, it's a victim. That's what the realtor says. The city's got endless money to fight us. He goes, for every one lie, he goes, they got 10 to cover up. And he said something else. I don't know the realtor. That's it. That's the story.
I can easily ruffle feathers. There's no problem with that. I'm pretty decent at that. The question is I definitely got to consult with a prosecutor. Okay, that's
Yeah,
gonna be
just
more,
find
that's
a
gonna be
prosecutor you can trust, because
Oh, no,
this
I'll be-
prosecutor, not just did he turn over on us when he was there, when he sat there and said, I will dismiss this case if you change your plea. So I looked at her, I go, do you want to do that? And she goes, yeah, all right then, we'll trust him. So we did it. And the case still went on, still go to jail. And that's 5 court dates altogether for one thing. The first one and then the 4 with her. That's a lot of court dates. And then ordering 3 times in a row, that ordering Mark Morrow to come to court. You'll see it on video. He never comes, because why? You don't even see the
yeah.
video going into the building department.
After we
Oh, we
lost
caught
the
him.
case in Cuyahoga,
Yeah. Oh, he says he's not following it, but he see. He says, "Oh, I don't know nothing about this," but then he right away goes, "Oh, well, yeah, yesterday you lost." Oh man, wait till you see the video. 2 days before Christmas, he says, "I had bulldozers ready to pull up."
yeah, you did.
On video, you got the video. It's all over YouTube. I
I
got
couldn't
stuff
believe
backed
my
up.
jaw dropped when he
I-
said that. I'm
he-
like, oh my god.
We walk in, we go, Mr. Morrow, we want to talk to you. Mr. Morrow, we're catching him. You're seeing us chasing him in the hallway. He catch him. Now, you watch this guy, you're going to see he's nervous and fidgety. He thinks he's being subpoenaed. I know that's what it is, and you're going to know
Because he
it
was
too.
holding papers.
I was holding papers that was to show that we had an inspector to please put in my file. By law, he's a civil servant. He's supposed to take my papers into that file so that it can show I had work and stuff. You're allowed to put anything in your file. He wouldn't take it. He goes, no, what is that? And I go, it's from an inspector, a respectable inspector. I go, please, sir, please. They're tearing it up. And that's when he goes, you know, I have bulldozers ready to pull up. I go, what? I go, oh my God, what are you doing? I go, this house is beautiful. He goes, no, it is. You don't even have electric. I go, there you go again. Lying again. Well, I didn't say the word lying. I go, there you go again. I go, you got the wrong address. Again. I go, this is that address. I go, you're talking about this address. I go, there was electricity. When we got there, the porch lights were on, was on. It had a brand new panel. But between me and you, I'm a contractor. There's only 2 reasons you can tear down a house. Public nuisance. That's money. New siding, new windows, new thing. Can't get that one. And it has to have electrical. Didn't need a permit to pull electrical.
That was the only
So how do you
thing they
tear
didn't
down the house?
require.
How could it even be
Was
criminal?
electrical.
Yeah, electrical was new. And it wasn't in the thing. And then he's going, well, no, you have to pull a permit because he specializes. That's his specialty, is electricity. So he's using that knowing he's got to either say it's a public nuisance or it's a fire hazard. And it can't, I mean, it had a nice panel, but they doctored that stuff, make it look like it's
Yeah,
bad.
you did.
Never seen corruption like this in my life. I'm bad if I did something speeding or did something wrong. I take the lumps. I did it. I deserve it. I've never pled not guilty my whole life to nothing in the whole world to this. And then look what happens. God bless you guys. I know, just
This is going to take a little time.
oh, I know.
I know you guys already.
I know the minute you tell them they're going to try to fix this, but you know what? I want charges. Like I told the realtor and everything, it's not in my money. I just wanted to be happy. I love that house. It's got a view of the city when the trees, well, you can see the valley, I mean.
We have deer in our backyard
Yeah,
and
every
everything.
day
It's
I
just
feed
kind
a
of like
baby
being in
deer.
the country, but right there in the
Right in the
city,
city.
you know?
Yeah, and then even the animals play with each other. Groundhog plays with squirrels. It's so, we love this place so fucking.
'Cause
sorry.
it seems like it sits off the road a little bit too, huh?
Yeah, it's about almost an acre of land.
Like if you know that
It's
if
beautiful.
somebody's back there, you know if they're supposed to
Ooh.
be back there.
A couple days ago. Now here we go. You ready?
Because there's only one way in, one
There's
way
only
out.
one way out. We're running video to catch all this. Someone was in our yard
Oh yeah, a couple days ago.
a couple days ago. The daughter was there. I stay in the RV. Daughters stay in the house. I won't.
I was in the
can't
house
use
at the time, and I looked out the window
Yeah,
and I
she
seen
looked out the window.
a man in right by the RV door, and
Yeah.
he was gone.
Yeah,
And I
she
freaked out
chose
when I
to
ran
stay
out there.
because we have the inspection saying that it is safe to stay in. She did. I told her I can't. I won't. Well, we're not in that kind of relationship, you know. But still, it was just. It's right. I know. I'm not going to let them use nothing to hurt me. So I know I'm scared she's going to be hurt for being in that house, but. You know, I want her okay. I want her girls
Well,
okay.
I took
So guy comes in the
every penny
yard.
from
He's
my
at my
child
RV
support
looking
to
at the
get this
house.
house.
He's up to something. Oh, she's got to tell it. She's seen it. Tell him about the guy in the yard. You've seen it.
Yeah, he was in the yard by the RV. I freaked out. I yelled for my girls to grab my phone and call Ray. Well, I was gonna run outside, but they weren't quick enough, so I ran back to get my phone and got on the phone with him as I ran out. And the guy was walking down the driveway.
He's on video.
And I says, "Can I help you with something?" And the guy like didn't want to stop, but then I kept
He's in a
asking
rush.
him,
You'll
and
see
he
video.
kept walking. And he turned around and he says, "I was looking for this address." I'm
But
like,
he didn't come in
"Okay,
through the front.
whatever."
He didn't come through the front because I got video.
So we looked at the video to see where he came from, and he did not come up the driveway.
So he was sneaking around.
You got video
Now,
surveillance
wait a
up at your
minute.
house?
Wait a minute. I catch him. Wait a minute. This is good. So she's telling me I'm rushing. I'm not too far from the property. I'm rushing. As I come, here comes the truck that looks suspicious. I
Yeah,
grab
I
the video. I block
describe
him off at the top of my street. Grab the video. Got played. After running video, you see this truck was involved because it
Yeah,
kept
it
going
kept
by the house
circling
slow,
why he's in the
slow,
yard.
looking to pick this dude back up.
Was it a
Yeah.
city truck?
No.
Just a
But,
black
but I'm
Silverado.
expecting whoever it is either to grab pictures or they were stealing, but we couldn't find they stole nothing.
Yeah, we
but
couldn't find anything.
Here's what
stolen.
gets funny. So I go across the street to the lady who's, I think she's family, Chamberlain's, that's called? Across the street, she works for she's the head of Board of Education. So I'm telling her, please be careful. There's a guy. She goes, don't worry, anything happens here, we all know each other. I got video. I go, anything. I go. The only thing that went wrong was she yelled, call Ray, and I go, I don't know why she did it. She should have dialed 911. I told this lady this.
And she works for the city.
She works for the city. A couple hours later, I left. She left. I went to do my thing. She's gone. Daughter's left, who's a teenager. The neighbor, a couple houses over, goes, Ray's not here to save you, huh? Yells up at the...
He said Ray can't get here fast
Oh,
enough.
Ray can't get here fast. The
Uh-huh.
kid needs to tell you. She heard it. She was
Yeah.
scared to death.
So I
We're used
rushed
to being
home.
messed with. So yeah, she rushed home. And once we watched all this video, but this was after that guy. That was like 2 days later because I'm now telling the neighbor, be careful. There's somebody around here. But don't worry. I got him on video and this and that. I'm telling her the whole story and that everything's going down and that this ain't gonna settle. You know. And she started out, some reason I believe, she goes, don't worry, I'm praying for you. And I was like, lady, what are you praying for me for? Oh, you're... Then I realized, I think she's the daughter to the Chamberlains, and she's just married to her. So I gave this information to her that how I told them they should have called it, but I go, I can't come save them. She goes and tells a neighbor who's drinking, and they drink, and they look like a bunch of city guys, because we swear we keep hearing, you think it's Morrow's voice over there. Because I've heard them literally say, we're getting the house back, don't worry, we'll run them off. They're drunk, and you know, I've gotten used to blowing it off. But now, when they dad to the kid, that's why I pushed you. I couldn't take it. That kid counts on me to protect them. Even though I'm outside the house, they know they're safe. Even though I'm in that motorhome, they know they're safe.
You have video surveillance at your house.
Somewhat, yes.
You guys have all this on.
It's not, it's, what it is it's cameras set up. It's like 16 gigs a day. So I gotta run through it and I grab what I want. But I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot.
He sets it up every day.
Yeah, I gotta set up every day, but I gotta clean it because it's 16 gigs. It fills, and I filled up
You
your
have to dump it.
Yeah, but I grabbed the important shit. Excuse my
No,
language.
don't worry about it.
I never thought you'd have to live like that, though.
No,
We've
you
always
shouldn't
left
have
our
to do
keys.
it
Put it this way, the guy rushes down the driveway. Her keys are sitting on her seat. He could have jumped in the car and took. He's looking for his buddy because he's passing the house. I got him on video. You see
The
him.
last time you see the truck go around, went
He
around
went
this
around
way.
the other way.
So when he went down the driveway, he went to run this way thinking he was over there, but then turned and seen that he was...
But her husband across the street came face to face. You'll see it on
Yeah,
video.
he
Face
runs
to
in the
face with
house.
the guy. So
I'm like,
I'm
"These
yelling in the
guys do."
garage the next day. I'm like, yeah, he runs. And it was like he didn't want to. He seen what was going on, but he ran. It was like I started thinking, are you linked with this guy? What's going on? Why would you leave her defendant out there screaming at a guy running down the driveway? She's yelling at him. And he runs. So that's when I was like, I want to confront them because I know he visually, you'll see it on video, he's seen them. And they're all linked because they're over there across the street. The previous owners, I see them face to face all the time. They're over there talking to him, pointing at the house, laughing and all that stuff. I got clips. You see the sinister looks. You smile. It's Mr. Leffel, you understand. You're going to see him doing just like this, but he didn't cover up for the camera. Tell them it's real bad. Remember, sunset. He distinctly says. And he's laughing. You see, you're going to see all the videos. And he does this. And
He thinks it's funny.
he does. He thinks it's funny.
He's an arrogant little
Put it
thing.
this way, why was he represents the building department on all the city issues. Which
Leffel
means,
does?
yeah. No. Yes, Leffel. Right, that's his job, but I didn't know he writes point of sale special. And we can't find a certificate for him.
Oh yeah, I can't find. I
There's
found
no
one for
certificate.
Morrow, but I can't
Yeah, so
find
this guy
one for
couldn't write a
Leffel.
point of sale. Oh, by the way, when I went in there and told them that my RV, that's the part I want to get to, the JAG, the chief of police. When I told them that RV was there, and I told a guy who says, I know this house, and Marlo says the same thing. You're going to see Marlo on there saying, I know this house. I've been in this house. I was like, what are you doing in this house? You weren't even in this city. How do you know this house? He's on video saying that. And he says, he video on there, he says, I know. He goes, they were in the middle of fixing their house up. He just admitted he had knowledge to the previous owners. He said they were in the middle of fixing their house up. And I said, there it is, right there. You're going to see me bust them. I go, there it is, right there. You are getting them back their house. Or something. So I go, can I please? He goes, oh, I got pictures. I go, sir, can I please have those pictures? He goes, no, get in an attorney. Because he's laughing because he knew the other attorney was paid off. Quit, fired.
Sorry.
Yeah, and my lawyer said he'll take the case back if I hand him $20,000. Didn't he? You were there.
And
He said at least
who's
$20,000.
Nettle work for? What law firm?
Both and both.
Foth and Foth.
Yes. By the way,
F-O-T-H?
Yep.
By the way, they beat Fortune 500 big company, so that's why it was like, okay, these guys are good.
Foth, I ain't never even heard of them.
Yeah.
They're in Strongsville. They're by my
Up
realtor.
road.
My realtor knew
He
the
passed
head
away,
guy.
though, the old
He
man
just
did.
passed away. He's the guy who's seen all this, and he goes, we're going to make them birds sing. We were like, okay, we can breathe. And it was like, we don't want attack. We don't like
Back
that.
chance to that.
I'm not a person that goes around and sues nobody. It's just not me. I just want to be peaceful and go back to work. I only have 6 years till I retire, and they screw my life up. 6 years now, and I'm struggling. I'm selling everything I've owned for us to get by, and that was just to make the $1,000 to save our house. Otherwise, the house is gone. Yeah.
Leffel represents Garfield Heights doing what?
Oh,
Building?
yeah. Building
Building
department.
department
Yeah.
inspector.
Isn't that an interest he's protecting his write-up? Isn't it funny that he gets to stand there and talk to a judge, and the judge goes, this isn't your point of sale. Yeah, it is. Why don't you tell her? You wrote it, but I didn't know it at the time. He had the same piece of paper. I go, Your Honor, he knows it's right there. But he changed. He goes, oh, well, it's not like you had a year to do your. He changed the subject. Because why didn't he tell the judge, oh, I wrote the point of sale? No, he's protecting his interest. And he's approaching the judge. He walks up and goes, you're going to hear it. Just turn your volume up, but you'll hear clearly. He goes, Your Honor, Morrow didn't have to be here, did it? And she goes, why? What's wrong? She just asked about a case, and we're not at the podium. Isn't that wrong? We're supposed to be at the podium. You're not allowed to have a conversation, especially with the guy who wrote the point of sale. He walks up and leans over to the judge at the thing. I mean, I can show you. I've never seen corruption this bad. And you know what? Obviously, they think they're squeaky clean, huh, Andrea? Turn around. He turns around like this, and the prosecutor did too. Brushed his shoulder. But you can't get that in video. But we'll testify. That's the only thing I can't say I show you on video. I go back. I got the old lady that helped us. Guess what? I got her on video. I go, hey, when did they, where they demoed it? She goes just like this, and it's on video. She goes, they don't know. Yep, I got it on video. You got that too. That's what I mean. There's endless evidence.
Because they went while we were in the middle of court proceedings, and there was no final outcome of it yet.
Well,
That's
wasn't that?
when
No,
we
no.
found-
I asked her, when did they start this demo? Because even Shelley
Start the
Davis
process.
started the process. She goes, they don't know. Because why? They're making it up. Why? Oh, on the paper we faxed, I think that's his. I think that's his evidence. Morrow, I think, had a notary backdate some stuff to be funny, because the lady wrote on there, I would have not notarized, or I would have not done it if I seen this. The letter saying
And
I
she
got
had
problems.
something circled
She had
on
something
that,
circled. I got that in the lady's writing, who's also the same notary who notarized something for Morrow to do the demo. The guy's crooked. He's just a bad seed. That's all there is to it. And that's why I called the mayor 2 days before going to jail, not knowing he hired him, so he had an interest and he didn't want to look back. I go, Mayor, this is happening and this and that, I can't believe it. And maybe that's why the judge goes, you're playing with me, Mr. Such. But it's funny how before going to jail, no, of course, no prosecutor, that alone should have threw the case, let alone approaching the judge. But, like I said, Leffel backs up, everybody backs up. Before she gave the ruling, like new, and it was under 2 minutes. Time it. From the minute I got the podium, I went to jail in under 2 minutes. Oh, and that Dave, when you watch all that IT guy, he says that it's voice activated, it picks up when you hear sound. Well, how come you didn't hear and they cut out the part where it comes to an end? She could have walked out free. The bailiff sitting next to the judge goes, oh, Your Honor, what about her? Because she had a case, they wanted to get her too. They would have let her walk away and threw me in jail. But that bailiff said that, but it's not in the transcripts, is it?
No.
Nope. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not just one court date. Anything that happened in Garfield, and that's why Dave took him so long. And besides, you call Dave. Dave says Deborah's got it. She's always got to review it. Why does she got to review something that's a copy paste burn? How many times did they say that back and forth? Well, I got to see it first. So they're all tangled. They're all big on it. I wouldn't make an accusation. This is serious. Anyone who makes an accusation like this should be prosecuted. Even me, if I'm lying. Take me. It's there. It's there. Thank God. And you know what? The reason is we're used to recording, because when I go in, I record my permits for my investor. I'll sit there and say, see, I did it. We can sell the house now. Let's list it. I'm just used to it. And luckily I felt I got so much more. I haven't even gone through its audio. Because when we first started, I was recording by sound. But then I got smart, and just used to recording because I would always do it. But I thought this will be good. We'll start documenting for the kids and stuff. For, oh, look, we did the right thing. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Thank God I did, because I wouldn't have had none of this. None of this. Huh. And then I think I had a warrant. She's pretty sure she's seen a warrant when they put this out, a warrant for me. But they lifted it because they wanted to do that in front of me when I was there paying the ticket. They go, okay, you can lift the warrant, like throwing it in my face. But I guess they put out warrants easily out for stuff like this. This Leffel is basically, you might as well say he runs the show. He's obviously telling Morrow what to say. Because mind you, he was there. Why didn't he get seniority and become the commissioner, building commissioner? Why did they take a corrupt guy who's busted in another city and then you invite him, but don't say what city he comes from, which was only a month or a month and a half. The whole city's after him. You watch city council, they hate this guy. They keep giving him contracts because all of a sudden the servers went down when everything was getting caught again. He gets the contract to do servers in the 7 Hills. And he's there going, I'll do it when I get time. He's so arrogant, isn't he? In the videos. This guy's just... And then they gave him another contract for something else. Something else. It was something happening in the city about, they're building a mall or something. But anyways, it's just never seen nothing like it.
This is an odd situation.
Well, every lawyer says you need a team of lawyers. That's all we can afford. They need real estate, criminal, and civil. That every lawyer says you got the case. The big lawyer I almost had, his name is Burns. He just took Garfield down. It was in the Supreme Court. You'll see it. Look it up. It's right now. He's the last one. I wanted him, but he wanted $750
Retainer.
an hour. Yeah, no, an hour. That's what he charges. He's big. He's old. He told me. I'm verbally on foot. He goes, "Oh, you got them." I told him everything. He goes, "Oh, you don't need me." He goes, "I'm not going to take all your money." But here and then, I wish I would have. I wish I would have, because he beat them. He beat Bedford. He beats them all because of their point of sales, because Ohio's deemed it unconstitutional and this and that. So he's helping change all these laws. He's a big lawyer. Every lawyer says call him. And I did, but I just couldn't afford him. And now I regret it. He just beat Garfield in Supreme Court.
In regards to what?
I don't know. It's on the stock. It's there on the Supreme. You'll see Burns.
It has to do with housing, though.
Yeah, it's housing. Yeah, he obviously somebody had money, and he just beat him in it's in the Supreme Court. And he beat him. And this is in the time all this is happening. I just couldn't afford him, so I had to take the cheap lawyer who took thousands. And Eric said, "I'll talk to him." I go, "I want my money back." You know, I gave him an opportunity. I'm not about suing people. I thought, just give me my money back. You'll get away with this, so I can pay another lawyer. He goes, "Well, I'll talk to." Who died? What's his name? What do they call him?
One of the partners in the firm.
Yeah, the big one. He goes, "I'll talk to him and see what I can do." Arthur is his name.
shit.
Arthur Foth. You got it in this? We're done.
It's all right, no, it's all
Yeah, but we did.
I'm gonna.
We'll even think of a bunch more. There's so much evidence.
I'm gonna make some phone calls, do some digging, and I will take a ride out to 12311 Sunset.
Yeah. Oh,
Just to get a feel for.
Look at her smiling.
No, just to get a feel for how everyone in that neighborhood reacts when somebody shows up that's not Garfield Heights Police Department, or a member of the city of Garfield Heights in any way, shape.
Yeah, that's why we always figured. But the police department, I'm not looking to attack them. They've never given us a problem. I was pulled over once by mistake, and I was in my investor's car, and I just bought it, and I had the plates sitting on the seat. I just bought it. They pulled me over, and I said, "See, I had plates." But they've always been nice. It's not the police department. It's just inside. Is
Inside City
yeah,
Hall.
something. Yeah. Yeah.
Andrea.
Correct.
What's your last name?
Herman, Herman.
Yeah, and her name's on the title.
I think I actually did see that. Come to think of it, because I was doing some research prior to you guys coming in, because this is, like I said.
You know what? She had something in her past, but she was able to have the problems go away. But because she has this criminal thing on her, makes her look bad. It's just that didn't do good. They did not need to do that to her. Why did they mess with her?
What's your date of birth? Because she's with you.
6/20/73.
Yeah, exactly.
6/20/73.
That's correct.
That's the only reason why.
Yeah. Well, right, because her name's there. They wanted to run us off. It's obvious. They straight say it. They're bold. The name. I don't have evidence, so I can't say nothing else. But when I do have evidence, now you know. We'll stand by every single thing we said. Exactly, right?
Let me work
Thank
on some
God.
things.
Thank God. I feel like I can breathe again. I've been having chest pains like you wouldn't believe. And she put it together. You're having anxiety, and she was right. But I've learned to calm down and not let it get to me. I'm just not used to this. Never seen nothing like this.
Let me work some angles, make some phone calls.
We appreciate it.
We'll
Thank
see
you.
what I can do. I really will.
I believe you, sir. And is there a way to get a copy of this?
After all said and done.
Oh, after said and done? Okay. I don't mind. I have nothing to hide. I
After
don't
all
mind
said and
Garfield seeing it too. I want the truth. I just want the truth out there. That's what it comes down to, the truth, sir.
I just want to know what kind of shenanigans they're up to.
Well,
This is straight tomfoolery. This is bizarre.
the movies aren't even this good.
This is bizarre.
Oh yeah, it is.
Let me work on a few things. Give me some time.
Yeah, all the time you need. I trust you.
I am gonna take a drive out there. Whether you guys are gonna be home or not, if you see
Yeah.
a black, if you see an unmarked police car out there, it's me.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's exactly what Leffel drives. Black, unmarked car. That's his car. Just so we'll panic at first. I know that. It's an instinct. It's just an
I
instinct.
get it. Now, well, everything you guys have been through, my head would be on a swivel on a constant
Oh,
basis.
I'm sure they got more plans on how to run us off. We don't know what. We're just waiting. It's always waiting to see what they're going to do next. Like the taxes, I can't say they did I'm just an honest, sir.
Mhm.
But it's just weird because even when we talk to people, they're like, we don't understand why they're foreclosing so fast on the property on just 3,000 stones. When I just paid last year at this same time the whole year, so that covers you and some. And she put down there, what was the words the lady put on the note? Tell her.
Well, she did say that she was gonna put it down as self-pay.
As self-pay. And
Instead of a
now,
payment plan.
because they
and
knew
self-pay.
when you get a payment plan, you miss the payment. That's it, they got your house, they're auctioning it. I know it's coming, it's coming. They'll either say they didn't get my payment, but I'm not gonna let him, I don't know how, I don't got no money. There you go. I have no money, I'm struggling. I'm selling everything I've owned. It shouldn't be right they do this to people, run them off like this, and ruin their names. Howard Hanna, that was an embarrassment to me. So I have to literally go into someone's house, sorry, I do have a criminal offense, can I please enter? For a housing, and it's my own house, not even a customer's. You know what I mean? It's okay.
Just take it one day at a time. No, seriously.
You're a blessing.
Give me some time. Let me see what I can work. What can I do? I'll somehow try
Sir,
to get you squared away one
God
way or
bless
another.
you.
Thanks for your time.
Absolutely. I'll walk you guys out. We'll figure something out. I will.
Do you want me to close this?
No, leave it.
Okay.